Let's talk about the time our heroes tried to finish Mage Meadowbrooks' research. Sakura, Cattail, and Twilight are searching through more of Meadowbrooks' notes. After the episode, a wealth of information. And by chance, they stumble across some hidden ones. But those aren't observations like the other ones. No, they are love notes. Addressed to a pony named Aquavine. From around the same time, she was searching for the magenta bloom flower. But apparently she never sent these ones. This is really mysterious. Especially because she never had any kids. Only her sister did. And Cattail, as their descendant, never heard about Aquavine. This could work. They could follow this trail and uncover this mystery, along with finding out more about the magenta bloom, a supposed cure-all. For that, they will search for descendants of Aquavine, and they find what they are looking for in Philadelphia's Hall of Records, which makes it easy to find the Vine family's greenhouse, just across the street. It doesn't take long to find the current Miss Vine, who is happy to tell them about her ancestor. She appreciates that they came all this way to give her the notes as a piece of family history. But that's not all they are here for. Twilight mentions the magenta bloom, and she immediately perks up. Aquavine's research about it has been passed down through generations, and now that she has help, they can use this opportunity and go on a quest. After Miss Vine and Cattail close up the shop together, they head out, but not to where Meadowbrook thought the flower was. She thought it didn't like salt water, but in fact it's the opposite. So they go into the opposite direction, to the sea. They aren't really sure if this flower is a cure-all after all, now that they know that Mage got one thing wrong already. But Miss Vine is interested in something else. In Cattail's stories about Meadowbrook. He tells the story of Bridleburg, a town plagued by a plague. She was advised against helping, but she couldn't be stopped. She did all she could to help, despite this being a new disease to her, and figured out that it was the well. It was contaminated, and she did what she does best. She took care of it, and cleansed it. This saved the town, and she was gone before they could even thank her. Her way of life inspired Cattail in the same way as Aquavine inspired his descendant. The same descendant that just lost the trail. But hope is not lost, because Fluttershy asks the local critters for directions, who surprisingly know the way. Miss Vine can't believe this. A pony that can talk to animals? Not to mention the rhyming zebra. What an interesting assortment of characters. These characters now reach the goal and spot a beautiful flower, perfectly adapted to the harsh coastal climate. And of course, Twilight is eager to fly up and get it, but she gets shot down by the very salt that helps the magenta bloom. She almost hits the cliff before ending up on the sand, but luckily, there's a trail upwards they can use. Fluttershy gets worried though. She sees what's going on. Twilight wants to leave something for the history books. Same as Mage Meadowbrook, she was getting consumed by her quest, becoming reckless, and it's their job to get her back to reality. And they have to act fast, because the overeager Twilight is falling down the crumbling cliff. The salt makes her unable to fly, but Flutters uses her wings to knock back the wind and boost Twilight back up the edge. And this finally gets her back on the ground. This near-death experience made her realize that she was foolish. In her quest to leave something behind, she almost got hurt. And without her friends, something way worse could have happened. But that's exactly what friends are for. And those friends will also help her to give getting the flower another shot. All together. At sunrise, they use a rope to keep Twilight safe, while she flies out. Sakura, Cattail, and Miss Vine hold on, while Fluttershy uses her wings to adjust the winds. All of this together makes it barely possible for Twi to reach the bloom. And just before she loses control, she gets pulled up together with the flower. This means it's finally time to head back and investigate the abilities of it. Cattail and Miss Vine definitely have a lot to talk about, where Fluttershy comforts Twilight. She feels embarrassed, but her friend reassures her that her actions might have been reckless, but for the right reasons. And friends are what helps to keep those actions in check. That's what Meadowbrook was missing in her search for the bloom. But I'm sure Aquavine's and Meadowbrook's descendants are making up for this missed opportunity. The comics don't focus on lessons as much as the show does, but when they do it well. You don't even really notice that that's what they are doing until shortly before Fluttershy does too. If that's good or bad, I'd say that's up to preference, but I appreciate the build-up. Twilight isn't one that usually does things for recognition, so to see that she has moments like this, getting over eager or reckless, shows different faults than usual, and it makes sense. She wants to be like her idols, who all made their mark on history for amazing feats for ponykind. This would be her opportunity. I know she is definitely already in the history books. She has a stained glass window, multiple in fact, but I can very much believe that she doesn't realize how much good she has done. What I appreciate even more is the implied blossoming romance between Aquavines and Meadowbrooks' descendants, going full circle of a romance that never was getting completed generations later. Even if I think it's a bit meh that Meadowbrook had a crush on Aquavine, because after the letters were written, she got together with the Pillars, and the Legends of Magic comics show Rockhoff getting a crush on her, and I'm just a big fan of that ship. The last thing I want to mention is the ending, because we never find out if the flower is a cure-all, because that's not the point of the story. It's a classic situation of the journey being the goal, which is admittedly not well liked at times, but it works here because they do get what they want. They do get the physical goal too. It's just not for us to know if it does what they suspected. But what do you think? Are you satisfied with the ending? Do you see Cattail and Miss Vine working out? Let me know. Join my Discord if you must cast some more. Thanks to my supporters, especially to Maverick, and until next time, Flabronis, Bonifellas, and bye.